Hello, this is Jazzkez Recap. Today, I will tell you about a war drama called Before the Fall. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like for this video. Now, let's get started. 1942, Berlin. The main character of the movie is 16-year-old Friedrich Weimer, who has just graduated from school. He is raised in a poor family, does physical labor, and is passionate about amateur boxing. At a boxing competition, he is noticed by a teacher from the elite National Political Academy, Heinrich Vogler, who recognizes his boxing talent and invites him to enroll in this educational institution located in the Allenstein Castle. Friedrich successfully passes the entrance exams and becomes a student at this academy. However, when he tells his parents about it at home, his father strongly forbids him from going to the academy. Friedrich secretly leaves his parents' house to study at the academy and forges his father's signature. Upon arrival for his studies, he is placed with other boys like him. A new school year begins. Friedrich is shown his room and introduced to the local rules of the academy. He realizes that the academy is his chance to achieve something in life. After a meeting, Friedrich meets his roommates and the commander, who immediately dislikes the brash boxer. At night, Friedrich notices another student being brought in, Albrecht Tashititna. His parents hold high positions, so he will be in a special category at the academy. They get acquainted in the morning when Albrecht helps Friedrich make his bed. Training begins, and Friedrich realizes that he is not in a summer camp. The teachers are strict and demand discipline. During a session, the coach summons Siegfried Gladden, who wet his bed at night. He makes him bring his mattress and urinate in front of everyone. Additionally, he makes him stand in the courtyard with the mattress over his head. During lunch in the cafeteria, a local priest enters. His presence makes everyone fall silent because he usually delivers news about relatives who have died in the war. This time, 2 children receive this unfortunate news. After classes, Friedrich goes to boxing practice. The coach tells him that there will be competition soon, and it would be a great opportunity for Friedrich to participate. The boy is thrilled to be given such a chance to prove himself. One day, packages from home arrive for the students. Friedrich receives a letter from his mother. In the message, his mother tells him that his father was furious because he left of own will. Albrecht receives his old compositions from home. He had intentionally marked them to see if anyone had read them, but his parents show no interest in his writing talent. They value physical fitness, bravery, and loyalty to the country more. Albrecht doesn't get upset and doesn't plan to sit. Instead, he goes with a friend to spy on the girls working in the academy. However, they get caught and they have to run away. During their training sessions, Friedrich becomes the first test pilot for a motorless apparatus. The training becomes increasingly challenging, making the teenagers crawl through barbed wire, climb over walls, and run a lot. At the same time, Friedrich continues boxing and prepares for the academy's competition. When the boxing match begins, his opponent puts up a good fight. But this time, Friedrich manages to defeat him. His fellow students and the academy's director congratulate him on his victory. Friedrich is thrilled by this and receives the motivation he needs. Albrecht says that it wasn't necessary to finish off the opponent because he still hasn't recovered. Siegfried Gladden wets his bed again, and the commandant promises not to tell the coach, if, of course, he pays him. The next day, the students are taught how to throw grenades, and the first students succeed. However, one of the boys gets nervous, and instead of throwing the bomb, he accidentally releases it from his hands. The coach orders everyone to run, and he himself runs away first. The students are in shock and don't move. At that moment, Siegfried Gladden throws himself on the grenade and saves his friends at the cost of his own life. After this, the boy is buried with honor, and he becomes an example for other students. According to the authorities, they should be as brave and selfless as him. The eulogy at the funeral is delivered by Albrecht's father, who came specifically for this occasion. The student who dropped the grenade is expelled from the academy. In the next class, the coach, who left the scene and made Siegfried perform a heroic act to prove how strong his abs were, asked Friedrich to deliver a blow. The boy couldn't refuse, and he complied with the coach's request. After this, the relationship between Albrecht and Friedrich began to improve. Albrecht even invited his friend to his home for his father's birthday. Friedrich was well received, and when Albrecht's father arrived, the family gathered at the table. The boy wanted to congratulate his father with a poem, but his father made him sit down to avoid embarrassing him. He preferred the physically fit Friedrich. After drinking too much before the celebration, the guests went to the basement to make their friends fight in the boxing ring. Friedrich initially refused, but Albrecht persuaded his friend. As a result, after Friedrich's precise punch, Albrecht lay on the floor. Everyone joyfully congratulated the champion, and they all forgot about Albrecht. Returning to school, the friends learned that there are escaped Russians in the woods, and they need to be killed immediately because the escapees are armed and very dangerous. Evening. Friedrich's platoon, in which he serves, is issued weapons and sent into the forest. In the darkness, the group notices several fugitives and starts shooting. It turns out that the fugitives are Russian boys, unarmed, and when they found out, they were already dead. Albrecht tried to save one of them, but then his father appears and kills the fugitive. The boy tried to stop his father, but he didn't listen. Regretting his friend, Friedrich decides to interrogate in detail what happened, and a fight breaks out. As a result, both of them are sent to solitary confinement. This incident changes all the students who've killed someone with their own hands for the first time. In class, they are told to write an essay, and Albrecht writes about what happened in the forest. When he starts telling that it's not fair to kill unarmed fighters, he is kicked out of the classroom. As a punishment, Albrecht's father decides to send him to the Eastern Front. Friedrich learns about this after he is released from solitary confinement, and he is very angry about it, because Albrecht didn't think about him when writing the essay. However, after a small quarrel, the friends calm down and decide to spend the remaining time without fighting. The academy's coach comes up with a new exercise for the students. They must descend into the ice hole, swim through it, and come out on the other side. Friedrich easily completes the task, but his friend Albrecht decides not to finish it. Swimming to the middle, he gives up and slowly drowns. Before that, Friedrich begged his friend to make it to the end, but Albrecht, saying goodbye, went to the bottom. Albrecht's mother and Friedrich barely survived such a loss, but the father was sure that his son was weak, and that meant he had no right to live. Friedrich wrote an obituary and asked the academy director to publish it in the local newspaper, but the director refused. The time for the boxing match came. Stepping into the ring, Friedrich started to fight fiercely, but didn't want to finish again. He saw how the academy leaders rejoiced, and the worst punishment for them was his lose. Therefore, when a new round began, he lowered his guard and allowed himself to be beaten. After these actions, Friedrich was expelled from the academy. The director made him take off his clothes because they belonged to the academy, and then he went naked to collect his belongings. It was Friedrich's last day at the academy. Throughout the country, in various academies, more than 15,000 students were being trained. And as the war neared its end and Germany was close to defeat, the Germans threw all their forces into the decisive battle, where every second soldier died, and Germany lost. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss the next videos. Good luck to everyone. Bye.